G'day guys, we're back. Alright, so let's get this antivibe done. So some of these bits of rubber can be a bit tight to get in, so I just like to give them a little bit of two-stroke oil. Again, people can get a little bit precious about this sort of thing. Got to remember guys, these are work saws, eh? And at the end of the day, if it makes your life a little bit easier to get these things in, then you do what you got to do, don't you? So we'll just get this one here, and this one here is a real booger to get on. So give me a second and I'll come back to you. Alright, that one's in. That one is an absolute pain in the arse to fit. Excuse my French, but it is what it is. Alright, so we've got a few other little bits and pieces that we need to fit. Oh god, as part of the anti-vibe system, so may as well get them fitted, and then yeah, we'll get onto that flywheel and then go from there, eh? So we may as well start with this piece here. We'll get him on here. He goes, it's on the intake end, goes on there, so that's where we'll put him. We'll grab 2 screws for that, which should be these 2 little babies here, which are, oh, let's pack it open. Where are we? Gotta find my knife on my workbench. Where's my knife gone? Where is my knife gone? Where is my knife gone? No knife, we'll use some cutters to just cut the bag open. Just like that. Alright. No, they're the wrong ones, Jeremy. Where are they? Trying to find the screws. Yep. Ah, there they are. There you come. Yep, that's them. Alright, so we'll get that mounted onto there. Again, just get the screws started. Don't go driving them all the way till you got them both in there. The reason why you get your screws started is so that the actual piece you're screwing in has got room to move, and that way if your holes are slightly out or whatever, and it's the same with anything you do, it's not just saws, but that way you can line your holes up a little easier. It's tight enough on there. Perfect. Put that over there for now, and that. Okay. Right, these little puppies. I need to get them mounted on the saw. Now you'll have 2 that are the same. Okay, and they're going to sit up here on the top in these top holes. I'll turn the saw around. In these 2 top holes, 1 and 2, that's where they go, in there and there. So again, just a little drizzle of oil, and they should, without too much trouble, pop into the hole. Come on, baby. You're going to be a bear tonight, aren't you? Yep. It's because I'm not feeling good. Oh, I'll try you in the back one instead, eh? I love it when that happens. I'm going to have to do this off camera, I think, because I'm feeling weak as. Give me a sec, I'll get them in and then I'll come back to you. I'm having to resort to tools to do this, which is something that I generally don't do and try to avoid. But as I said, I've got no muscle strength at the moment, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm just using a flat tip screwdriver, but I'm not stabbing. How do I explain it? I'm not stabbing the rubber. What I'm doing is pushing the rubber over and then pushing down, so that I'm not going to break the rubber doing what I'm doing. Only because if you stab this rubber with a screwdriver, the screwdriver will just go straight through it. So just work your way around it slowly. Push in and down. 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 Like that. I would usually just press these in with my thumb, but I'm really not in a good place at the moment, health-wise. Okay, that's those. Okay, the next two, which should be here on my little bench somewhere, are these two. Okay, they go here. One goes in this hole here, and the other goes in on this side here. So we'll do those quickly. We'll do those quickly. This one here. Okay. Hoping this one will just fall in for me. Which it did. That just went straight in, that one. This one here can be a bit of a bear also, so just use a bit of oil, guys. Use oil. It's not going to hurt it. So what I was saying to you before was these saws, they operate and there's oil everywhere on them, so it doesn't hurt to get a little bit of oil on these things. It's not going to hurt anything, because they're going to get covered in oil and shit and debris as they're being used, which is why you should clean your saw properly every time you use it. Alright, and this one here from the inside should pop straight into there. If there's any sort of luck, we might have to use a screwdriver on this one too, I think. This one, same thing. We're not stabbing the rubber. We're pushing the rubber across and pulling up. So pushing rubber across, pulling up. Pushing the rubber across, pulling up until it pops up. And it should basically lock onto that plate. Just like that. Okay, and that's that one there. Alright, that's how that sits. Just wipe this excess oil off. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be coughing all the time. It's not fun. Alright, so that's those on. What we might do now is we might fit the handle to the saw, which is this fella. Now, before we fit the handle to the saw, I want to point something out to you. On a lot of the steel saws, the vacuum hose would normally come through this hole down here with a like a wedge-shaped grommet attached to the hose. On the 361, it does not. Okay, on the 361, you will see right here. That's where the hose attaches to. It's part of the moulding. It's injection molded, and it comes out there because the intake and the vacuum are all above where it would normally sit, and that's where the intake is picked up from, just there where the tip of my screwdriver is. Alright, so what we'll do, now these are a bit of a bear to get on. They're not fun to get on, because what you've got to do is you've got to get this in to the other end of the saw. So you're probably going to have a good laugh at my expense now, because I'm going to wrestle this to get it in, because it will only go in one way because of the shape of the this piece. It'll only go in one way. So we'll get that in there, and compress that. Rotate it. There we go. So get that into the hole. There you go. There we go. Come on. There's another one that's going to beat me because I've got no strength. Give me 1 sec, guys, and I'll come back to you. Alright, we're going to do this another way. I just haven't got the strength to do it that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this around the intake boot. Now the reason why we do this is because it'll squeeze the boot up as we pull it through the handle here. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to slide the handle in underneath. Alright. Like that, and we're going to get all this hooked up. Now before we go too far, we're going to hook that impulse line up because you'll never get it with the case on. So I'm just going to quickly hook that up if I can. Grab the impulse line, which is there. Tell you what, they don't make these saws for people with sausage fingers, and that's what I got. I got sausage fingers. It makes it a bit hard to get into some of these spots, but is what it is. I might have to use some pliers to do that, I think. Now, when you're using pliers, see if you can get some that haven't got serrated teeth, like, if you know what I mean, the actual tines on the pliers aren't serrated because it's rubber, and you can really damage it if they're serrated. So these ones are serrated, so I'm being as careful as I can because I don't know where my ones are, my pliers are that don't have the serrated ends. So I'm just going to pull that back out a bit to do this, I think. I'm not in the mood to fight with it tonight. Come on, baby, go on there, please. Ugh. And you just got to make sure that is on all the way, because like I said, guys, air leaks are a killer. There we go. It's on all the way. I'm not going to be able to show you that on the camera, I don't think. Yeah, just maybe. Don't know, it's a pretty awkward spot to get the camera into. Alright, so let's get all this in, shall we? So we'll slide the two halves together. And it will be a little bit tight because you've got to remember you've got all your anti-vibe gear to get past, which is an absolute pain in the ass on this saw, because as I said, I reckon it's over top on this saw, but this is an extremely powerful saw. The 361, for what it is, for the amount of cc's that it is, in my opinion, is a very powerful, saw for what it is. And I just carefully flick this intake boot in without puncturing it. that string's for. There we go, that's there like that. And now I should be able to pull this forward like that, push that down into there where it lives, in under there. Oh. Come on, in you go, there we go. That's that one there in, and then we should be able to compress this spring and it should just sit in its little hole like that. Okay, there is a screw that'll go into there, okay, so don't panic too much. So there's a screw that goes into this hole here to hold that spring-loaded antivibe in. Okay, alright, beautiful. And now we should be able to permanently mount those two pieces together with the screws and the handles. Okay, so we'll do that in the next video. Bye.